here to welcome co-star Regina King and writer-director Barry Jenkins. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome and congratulations on such a beautiful film. Barry, just to jump in, let's talk about how this film and this story sort of changed maybe your understanding of the story. It goes back to 2013 for you in terms of an adaptation. Your introduction to James Baldwin's amazing book goes back sooner. How did your understanding or your perception of the story and the characters change in making the film?
Yeah, it was interesting. I think the biggest change was, I think in making the film, I learned to check my directorial ego. You know, I'm not a woman. James Baldwin is not a woman. Regina King is a woman. And so, in making the film, there were all these questions that the characters had that normally, as a director, people come to me to answer. But I had to realize I can't answer this question. I have to lean on the person to my right to answer that question. So in that way, I think I gained a deeper understanding from making the film by working with Regina and Kiki, Arjunu, Emily, Tiana, just all of the whole cast.
Amazing cast. Let's give a round of applause for this amazing cast on the way. Regina, the family has so much love, so much striving, so much strife going on in it. What was some of the keys to you for Sharon Rogers kind of figure out? What were some of those keys?
Well, I have to say that James Baldwin, it was laid out in the book. This family was a family that's, for a lot of us, very familiar. We've come from families like that. And for me, I pulled on my grandmother. She was a Sharon Rivers, you know, in the church, at home, with her friends, and just that spirit, that mama bear thing, that matriarch thing. I tapped on that, and like I said, the Bible was the book. And we had so many conversations with Barry, and he created this space that was safe for us to explore and take our time in a little bit of time to find all of those nuances that were in the book. Because when Baldwin, some of his descriptions would take, like, you know, when Tisha's describing herself in the book, that's like 2 or 3 pages. And Barry found a way to, you know, make that an eighth of a scene, sometimes silently, sometimes with no words.
Often silently. Got like 2 of them.
We'll take some questions in just a moment. But on that, I want to talk about the kaleidoscope of viewpoints that are in the film, Barry, because obviously it's from Tisha's narration gets us through it, but that how important was it to kind of get all of those viewpoints kind of into the film, kind of get them all into that same kind of groove?
Yeah, it was super important. I think the power of James Baldwin's writing is this idea of point of view and interiority. You know, James Baldwin could write inside a person better than anyone I've ever read. He really could get to the heart of not what someone's saying, but what the saying means, you know, and the feeling behind the utterance. And so, for me, it was about creating this kaleidoscope, as you said, this cast, this ensemble of characters, but still root the film in Tisha's point of view. You know, the book is told from Mr. Baldwin's perspective, but the film is definitely Tisha's. And so it was interesting to try and find these ways to branch out from Tisha's point of view. We did that through resolves primarily, and then to come back to her to ground the audience in her perspective.
Beautifully done. If anybody has a question, definitely put a hand up really high. We've got a lot of lights in our face. Yes?
Yeah, first, rarely do you say a movie is comparable or better than a book. So congrats on that.
Hey, no, bruh. No, bruh. No, bruh. Hey, I appreciate it, but no, bruh.
Why after coming off the Oscars?
The question was why this film after coming off the Oscars? Because the Oscars was crazy, bro. No, I wrote both of these screenplays, the first draft at least in 2013, and I'd gone 8 years between making the film. I made Medicine for Melancholy, came out in 2008, 10-year anniversary somehow, and it had been 8 years between that and Medicine and Moonlight. So I knew I just wanted to just make everything. I wanted to make everything. So I wrote this screenplay and Moonlight on the same writing trip in 2013. And it was nice. I didn't have the rights to the book when I adapted the novel, but over the course of making Moonlight, I secured the rights. And it's true. And so what my thought process was, as I was writing them, they felt like companion pieces. And to me, I felt like I had to close the cycle. If you took Regina King's character in Beale Street, Sharon, and made her the mom in Moonlight, and if you took Naomi Harris's character in Moonlight and made her the mom in Beale Street, how would that affect the lives of those children? This nature versus nurture dynamic. And I feel like if you view the two films together, you can really understand. They're both black families, black mothers trying to raise their child the best they can, but the circumstances are totally different. And so to me, that was why I had to make this film next.
We've got just one more if anybody has a question. Yeah, right there, that hand went up right first, yes.
I actually read the book as well, and I loved it in preparation for this movie, so excited for it. But the biggest difference that I just noticed about this adaptation is that you sort of added like a bit of a coda that wasn't really in the book, that they left kind of ambiguous. And I was just wondering why you did that, and what you think that brought to the story instead of just leaving it like ambiguous.
That is a very dense and interesting question. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, the ending of the,
we got that.
I know, right? The ending of the film is different than the ending of the book. And if there's a filmmakers in the room, you notice it goes New York unit, obviously, Dominican Republic unit because of Hurricane Maria, and then LA unit? Why LA unit? So we filmed the film with extreme fidelity to the source materials of the book. So there's an ending of this film that is exactly the same as the book. But you make a film, the actors take it, they create the characters, and then you watch it, and it reveals itself to you. And so I'm going to spoil the book for a few of y'all. I apologize. But in the book, Bonnie's father, Frank, who commits this act of domestic violence, he ultimately commits suicide. Tish comes home from seeing Bonnie for the last time. He walks in the door, or Sharon walks in the door, and then Coleman Domingo, Joseph, comes in and says they found Frank. And Tish says, oh, they found him, what you mean? And then she realizes he committed suicide. She goes, I got to tell Bonnie. She goes into labor. Stephon James' performance in the last prison scene, people would watch the film, the early cut, and they would go, I think he goes back and commits suicide. So right away, now I'm killing two black fathers as this baby is being born, and I didn't want to kill another black patriarch. So in watching the film, I thought, we need to extend this. We need, as you said, a coda. And I was watching the movie, and Stephon James says, I'm going to build us a great big table, and our family's going to eat off of it for a long, long time to come. And so I thought, I want to see this great big table. Rather than reality, not the table he promised, but the table they have. And the family is intact, the child is healthy, and they are going to eat off it because he is going to get out, and they will live together for a long, long time to come. And so that's how the coda came about. Thank you for the question. Thank you for reading the book. Rest of y'all, go read that book. There's a lot of Thank you, my dear.
Well, thank you both for the film. If I can ask everybody just to stay in their seats, these guys have another event.
We got
to
another
get to.
Q&A across town. I apologize.
Thank you so
Let's have a
much.
round of applause, please, for Barry Jenkins.
Thank you.